Back today I'm just going to do a very quick video. Hopefully I actually recorded me saying that entire thing. Otherwise, we'll guys back. I'm going to do a very quick thing. This episode shouldn't be longer than 5 minutes. I'm just basically going to go through the changes I made. I made a lot of these changes. I was going to make a lot of these changes on camera, but it got to a point where I had a bug, or a bunch of bugs. There's about 5, and they all just kind of interlocked and were really difficult to solve, and I spent probably 4 hours solving them all, plus many other things, and that was all today basically. So I only got time to about now to record a video. Okay, so sorry about that. Let's look at what I've got. Yeah, here. So you need to have an updated database for both the bought option under undo. So go to undo. Under bought, there should be an updated database, and under sold, there should be one. I believe you can do one at the end, but yeah, you can just do one at the end. But it doesn't really matter either way because it won't do it twice. It will just do it once. But that way you can kind of understand how it does it. Also, I don't think this has changed, but just to check the same. Add shop item has not changed. Hasn't changed. Buy item, this is where things have really changed. There's an or thing here, so you say or have previous items, which is a void. It's a boolean. No, it's not void. It's a boolean method. Okay. So we'll go and make that before you do anything. You can download the entire script in the description below. It will be a pastebin link, which will basically just be like it's essentially like a text edit online, but it keeps the format of documents, so it means that you can just copy and paste it right in, and there's no need for anything. So let's look at this. This is a method, and it's make sure you say public boolean, not a void. Okay. What happens is when you ask this thing, it will return either true or false. Alright, so you can say, do I have this? And then go, yes you do, or no you don't. So I haven't used this before in this series. I have used, I believe, a few public integers and stuff like that. Not like void method integers and methods floats and stuff like that. I don't know if I have, but I have used in previous projects a lot. These public booleans are quite useful sometimes. Public strings are also very useful. For example, receiving tooltips and stuff like that. Okay, so we do require a parameter. You do actually have to give us a name. The reason I call it 2 is because another one I call item name, it was marking up a little bit, I think. So you would want to call item name 2. It doesn't mean the second. It just means because when you sometimes one of the functions had a parameter called item name. I'm not gonna go for that, but essentially it was a mess. So if items other name item name 2 dot require, which is the same thing as our buy item thing up here, how we did this stuff here. It's the same thing. So it's just a way for us to use a string name. It's a weird way to do it, but that's how I'm doing it. If you acquire items, then what we're going to do is we're going to say the number of items that you acquire is equal to your requirements dot length, and the number of bought items that you currently have is 0, obviously, and then it's going to go for each of your requirements, and if you have bought them, it's going to say you bought them. If the number of items that you have, the number of items that, because your bought items sometimes they can, for example, if you've got 5 of the same item, it will plus 5 times, which is kind of problematic. Because that's a little error, right? You can probably see that. Because you just buy 5 of the cheaper items and then cancel that as done. But actually, Even if you do that, it will still pay the price. You'll still pay the full price, so it doesn't matter. Even if there's 2 items, it builds into it. It doesn't matter, because even though it will say you have the previous items, it won't just add it. You'll still have to pay the price of the item, or like the recipe price, and how it works. You'll still have to pay it. So there's no scumming around it. So it will turn true, else it will turn false. So essentially, if you have enough items, it will turn true. Otherwise, it will turn false. If it doesn't require it, will just return false anyway. Now this buy thing basically says, well, the thing is that with the old system, if you had a full inventory and you tried to upgrade one of your items, it wouldn't allow you to, because it would go, well, you don't have a slot for it. Now it does allow you, which is why this OR statement is here. If the player stats.final inspector, if you have enough gold, obviously, then this says whether or not we've added the item, because that's very important, so we don't add it twice. And this states whether or not we had previous items, since we sometimes need to ask this bit later on, but we obviously may have already added the item, so we don't really, so this will change, this value will change. And in private is not different, I believe, I hope it's not different. I don't remember adding it. We don't use debug.log. So basically we're just saying, hey, if the number of items, this is important here, this wasn't here before, this is different before, if you have enough slots and you don't have previous items, then we'll just add it minus the final price, and we'll say you've added it. Now, so that means that it will get added to the slot. So if you have not had the previous items, it will just get added, so it's just on the list. Essentially, this doesn't need to be here, it could probably be an else statement, because technically, if you've already added, you don't need to do this whole item requirement thing, and that wastes a little bit of memory. So that's optimization later on. So we'll be going into that, but right now I'm not going to bother. So this stuff is all the same. There's no difference here, but this is different. If you have add sets, and if there's more than one count, which you actually don't need anymore because of how I built it. I was trying different things, so excuse for errors like that. We're going to go for each one of our undo sets, and if our undo sets, if the item texture is equal to the requirements item texture, then we're going to remove it, and then we're going to break. Now, this does have a problem with the undo system. If you move items around, there is a problem. But that is the inventory manager's fault, not the shop database. So we're going to be going into that a bit later. And that will be done another episode when we just fix up the inventory manager. But that is a problem, and we will have to fix that later. So we are going to put a fix inventory manager for when switching items. Are we actually no, we don't need to fix it. Sorry, that was the old system. Oh man, because I tried like 3 systems in this. That's why the no, you didn't see them, but there was like this whole thing where what inventory so is this undo set in or whatever, but now it doesn't care. It checks whether or not item texture is. Then it removes it. Does it really matter? It kind of does sometimes. No, it actually doesn't. Because it'll pick the first one anyway. When you're upgrading, it'll pick the first one you find. So it doesn't actually matter. And then here, if we haven't added the item yet, and we have previous items, or the previous items, right? And we've had previous items, and the number of items is less than the inventory manager. So we have slots now. Then we're going to add an item, increment our stat of gold, so it doesn't matter if we have items, and that's it. Come by. We actually do need to add undo set. Actually, no, because we do it down here. And if we're adding sets, then we add a new undo. It's great, isn't it? This is so good. And then item private is essentially our way to say what we have upgraded. right? So we have a list of all the upgraded ones. So that way, when we go back, we get the original ingredients. So if we split a sword of the ancient, right, that may be a normal sword plus an ancient shard, right? So when you combine this together, you get the sword of the ancient, but you can split that back into the two core parts. And update database, don't know if that was there before, I don't think that was, I can't remember. Oh, so under cell, there's just an update database. And that's it. No more. Super quick, super easy, just about 10 minutes. Anyway guys, see you next time. Inventory manager, if you do want to change, for example, actually there's no need to change, because I still have it in mind that I need to change it, but I don't. So, anyway guys, see you guys next time.